एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। या देवी स्तूयते नित्यं विबुधैर्वेदपारगैः सा मे वसति जिह्वाग्रे ब्रह्मरूपा सरस्वती। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। निरञ्जनं नित्यमनन्तरूपं भक्तानुकम्पाधृतविग्रहं वै ईशावतारं परमेशमीड्यं तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामि। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्तिः रामकृष्णे स्थिता ह्य सर्वविद्यास्वरूपान्तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। विवेकजानन्दनिमग्नचित्तं विवेकदानैकविनोदशीलं विवेकभासा कमनीयकान्तिं विवेकिनं तम् अहं नमामि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। नमोऽस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अपरं चेत् प्राप्तव्यं परं चेत् ज्ञातव्यम्. If anyone wants to get something finite which is subject to desha kala avastha, he has to struggle to get it. If he wants to get something already with himself, if he wants to get something already with himself, that getting is in the form of knowing. Param chet jnatavyam. And in the previous classes we saw that moksha, if it has to be a nitya vastu, if it should be a nitya moksha, then it should not be within the limitation of desha or kala. Then it should not be as a karma phalam, because any karma phalam is within the limitation of desha and kala. So being prapta vastu, but still we feel or experience that it is absent in our life, that absence of that thing is removed by knowledge. For knowledge, a relevant pramanam is required. Atmanaha Brahmatvam is Nitya Siddham. That Nitya Siddha Atmanaha Brahmatvam is revealed in Vedanta Pramanam through many Mahavakyas. One Mahavakya is Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. This is the assertion of the Advaita Vedantin. Therefore, nothing need to be done to gain moksha. All sadhanas prescribed in the Shastra is to gain the qualification to gain this knowledge. In other words, all sadhanas are meant to make oneself to qualify to get a Shastra Guru, Atma Jnana Guru. Once you get the Guru and once you are a qualified seeker, it is a matter of few moments. This is what we come across in Vedanta Pramana Vakyas. A qualified disciple like Nachiketa Swami approaches a qualified teacher, then dialogue happens in between them, and the end of the dialogue, the disciple says, "Thank you very much for showing me what I have already." Not thank you very much to give me what I don't have already. Understand? So, entire Advaita Vedanta Shastra is based on one idea that Ajnanam is the source of all suffering. Which Ajnanam? Atmanaha Ajnanam. Atmanaha Brahmatva Ajnanam is the source of all sufferings. Once Atmanaha Brahmatva Ajnanam is removed by Vedanta Shastra Pramanam, then entire samsara is over. So now the Advaita Vedantin has to explain how the Atmanaha Ajnanam happens. How the Ajnanam happens. What is the cause of Ajnanam? How it manifests in our life. Then only he can say, to remove this cause of all problems, Jnanam is the solution. Ajnanam is the problem, therefore Jnanam is the solution. With regard to other philosophers, other darshanikas, what is the assertion? They say, you are missing, you have to get it. Actually, you miss it. Therefore, only you have to actually struggle, actually get. This is the solution they give. What Advaita Vedantin says, you don't miss it, you think you miss it. You don't miss it, you think you miss it. So that thinking is called Adhyasa, erroneous notion. So this is a very deep subject, how Adhyasa happens, how knowledge happens. What is the definition for knowledge? What is the definition for Adhyasa? Adhyasa means erroneous perception. So this is analyzed in a very deep way, and this analysis is called epistemology. It's a very deep subject. So we will see only conclusion. How error happens in general and with regard to oneself. That is why while writing Brahma Sutra Bhashyam, Bhagavan Shankaracharya first tries to explain that this Adhyasa is the source of all problems. Then only he can say Vidya is the solution for our problems. So that portion is called Adhyasa Bhashyam, very beautiful portion. So Adhyasa means an error. In technical language, in academic language, it is called superimposition. Imposition, superimposition. In academic language or technical language. For understanding, Adhyasa means erroneous notion. So, how the error happens in our knowledge pursuit? That has to be analyzed and understood. All these analyses are to convince our mind that other than Shastra Jnanam, there is no possibility of getting what I want. Other than Shastra Jnanam, that there is no possibility of gaining freedom from my smallness. Then only our approach towards the Shastra Jnanam, our approach towards getting qualification to gain that Shastra Jnanam, our approach towards the Shastra Acharya will be a sincere effort. Otherwise, something we will be doing, thinking that it is the right thing I am doing. Everybody is doing that only. So, if a person is a sincere seeker after freedom, he should first convince that all other doors are closed. Even if it is opened for my arrival, there is no utility in going towards them. Nasti akritaha kritena. That idea should come in a very convinced way in our mind. How it will come? Only if I understand what is the problem, then only the solution which is proposed by the Guru Parampara will be appealing to my mind. So, Bhagavan Shankaracharya takes pain in analyzing this particular aspect, how an error happens. For our general understanding, any error happens in a twilight. It neither happens in a broad light, nor it happens in a dark night. Suppose a person considers rope as a snake. When this erroneous perception can happen? Neither in a broad daylight, nor in pitch dark night. Understood? So there should be a twilight, wherein day and night should be there, or light and darkness should be there. 51-49 or 50-50. Here Acharya says the error happens in a confused mind, not in a knowledgeable mind, not even in an ignorant mind. Absolute knowledge is bliss, absolute ignorance also is bliss. Both are bliss. Where is absolute ignorance is there? In our deep sleep. Where is absolute knowledge is there? Jnani's life. So, when he says there is a snake, there are two amshas are there. One is Samanya Amshaha, another one is Vishesha Amshaha. There is Samanya. A snake is Vishesha. He knows something is there, but he doesn't know what it is. If he doesn't know something is there, he will not tell there is. So, there is a Samanya Amshaha, there is a Vishesha Amshaha. The Samanya Amshaha is known to him, therefore it is called Anavrita Amshaha, not covered. That knowledge is not covered. And there is Satyam also. It is going to be proved after verification. Correct? With regard to Vishesha Amshaha, yes, snake is not there. Actually, rope is there. That rope part is Avritam. Satyam is Avritam. On that Avritam Satyam, covered truth, something is imposed by his imagination, which is called snake. So, Samanya Amshaha is equal to Anavrita Amshaha is equal to Satya Amshaha. Vishesha Amshaha, Amshaha means part. Vishesha Amshaha is equal to Avrita Amshaha is equal to Mithya Amshaha. When it is going to be proven which Amsha is Mithya, which Amsha is Satyam? Only after verification. The ropeness is covered and snakeness is superimposed. Understood? So every error is nothing but a combination of partial truth, partial untruth. Every error. And every knowledge, what happens? Vishesha Amsha error portion is removed. That's all. When it is removed, automatically you come to know what it is. Understood? So, the correction happens with regard to Vishesha Amsha only. Yes, snake. Now it is understood as a rope. There is no need for correction with regard to Samanya Amsha. There is the Samanya Amsha. There is no correction after Vichara. So, taking this example, Rajju Sarpa Nyaya it is called. Rajju Sarpa Nyaya. It comes in all scriptures. Yanmaya Vashavarti Vishwamakilam Brahmadi Deva Asuraha Yatsattvadamrushaiva Bhati Sakalam Rajjau Yatha He Brahmaha. Rajjau he brahmaha yatha. Example. Similarly, on the Satya Vastu called Rama, the entire creation exists. Yat pada plavameva bhatihi bhavam bhote stitirshavata vandeham tam ashesha karana param ramakyam isham harim. In Ramanama Sankirtanam, Tulsidas Maharaj gives this shloka. So, this example is very famous example for error. There are so many other examples also are there. Silver shell, Shuktika Rajatam, silver shell. When you walk on the sea beach, you will find a lot of silver blinking. When you run there, you will find out what shell it is. It's a simple shell. It shines because of sunlight having a silver type surface. There is no silver there. So there are varieties of examples there. We will stick to one example. What is the example? There is a snake. This statement is the example for erroneous knowledge. In that statement, there are two amshas. Samanya Amsha, Vishesha Amsha. Samanya Amsha is not going to change at all. Therefore, it is Satya Amsham. And it is not covered in our knowledge. Therefore, it is Anavrita Amsham. Vishesha Amsha is going to change. Therefore, it is Mithya Amsham. And Satya Amsham was covered. Rope was covered. Therefore, Avrita Amsham. When you come to self-knowledge, every individual says, when somebody asks him, who are you? Who are you? I am miserable. So, other than few souls, everyone says, Aham samsari. I am miserable. Few souls like Hasta Malaka, Bhagavan Shankara, or Vamadeva, without teaching, they could gain this. Because of their either avataratva status or yoga brishtatva status. Understood? If you consider one person as avatara, then he is already a teacher. He has come down to the school only to teach. So there is no need for him to learn. If you say he is not avatara, but still he is knowledgeable by birth, what does it mean? He has completed all his education, so therefore he is here for getting answer paper. So there is no need for study. Understood? Yoga Brishta means a person who has written the examination but did not get the answer paper. So by birth, like Hastamalaka Acharya, like Ramana Maharishi Maharaj, a simple trigger is enough for them to bring back all their Purva Samskara, Jnana Samskara, all their Purva Jnana Samskara to manifest in their life. So whole life they live as a wise person. So other than these few souls, everyone says, Aham Samsari. I am miserable. Any individual. When you ask, how are you? Fine. But I am miserable. You take this statement, I am miserable. What may be the reason? That is different. But what is the condition? I am miserable. No one replies to this question, who are you? Other than few souls like Hasta Malaka, Bhagavan Shankara or Vamadeva. Other than these few souls, everyone says, Aham Samsari. I am miserable. In that statement, I am is Samanya Amsham. Everyone says I am. The miserable is Vishesha Amsham. Because he himself is going to change. I am happy. I am sleepy. I am active. I am lazy. I am Gundu. I am Guldu. Guldu means idiot. Gundu means bulky. So he will be changing this Vishesha Amsha all the time. Like a person can say there is a snake. Another person can say there is a Bhuchitram, a break in the land. The rope can appear as a break in the land. And another person say there is a mala lying on the ground. It's all perceiver's error. So that erroneous portion only is going to change. There is no change in there is. Similarly here also, there is no change in I am. Miserable, tall, small, happy, sleepy, lazy, active, running, eating, these are all is going to change. So, Samanya Amsha is Anavratam, Aham. Vishesha Amsha is Avratam, Samsari. Aim of Shastra Pramanam is remove this Vishesha Amsham in our understanding about ourselves. Nothing external is going to be changed. Mother Sarada Devi is tell, what will happen when you gain knowledge about the self? Will you get two horns on your head? Nothing is going to happen. There was a wrong judgment about yourself in your mind. That wrong judgment is corrected, that's all. So, aim of Vedanta is not to reveal Aham, but to remove samsari portion. Understood? So, definition of error in general, with this explanation, you can say, from the standpoint of rope, the snake is taken, anyatha grahanam. You miss the rope and take snake. Therefore, it is called mistake. Miss the truth and take the apparent or untruth. That is called mistake. Sorry for my mistake. When you say, what do you mean, I missed the truth, taken the error as the truth. Mistaken truth is called error. Missing the truth, taken the untruth is called error. Do you agree? This definition, it is called in Sanskrit Anyatha Grahanam. Then there is another definition from the standpoint of snake. The person can say, I have superimposed snake on the truth. I have superimposed my imagination of snake on the truth, even though it is not there. That is called in Sanskrit Adhyasa. Then, from both standpoints, you can define the error. It is a combination of truth plus untruth. Correct? It is a combination of truth plus untruth. Satya Anruta Mithunikaranam is called error. Now you understand? So you call it as Anyatha Grahanam, that which is not there actually you have taken it, and which is there actually you missed it. Then you can call it Adhyasa. You simply superimposed your idea on that. That is how happens when a person gets jealousy with regard to others. Actually, the problem is not there on the opposite person. It is first person singular's problem. So he superimposes that idea on him. That is called jealous. That is why the jealousy person alone suffers. On whom he is jealous, that fellow doesn't know at all. So there is no suffering from him. As long as it remains in the mind, the person on whom you are jealousy, the person doesn't bother about at all, because the person is not aware that you are jealousy of him. But you only suffer. That is why Shastra says jealous is the most dangerous enemy for a person who wants to have Shanti, because he will burn first. So that is called error, Adhyasa. You understand now the relevance of this topic in our day-to-day life? Very relevant it is. And we have to bow down to the Guru Parampara, especially to Bhagavan Shankaracharya. Even 1 crore time you bow down also, you cannot pay the debt. Yes, he has cleared the entire human problem in one approach, for which he doesn't claim any credit. This is what my Gurudev has given to me. That's what he says. So, there is a snake. In his cognition, there is only one entity. When he says there is a snake, what he means? He doesn't know there is Satyamshaha, Anrutamshaha, Samanyamshaha, Visheshamshaha. According to him, there is a snake, bas over. It is a single statement about a single entity. There is no two amshas in the mind of the person. Suppose if I say, there is a long, curved, frightening, poisonous snake. Long, curved, frightening, poisonous snake. It is coming to bite me, furious, frightening one, and it has lot of poison also. So in that, longness and curvedness belong to what? To the rope. Furious, frightening, poisonous belong to what? To the snake. Understood? Similarly, when a person says, Aham samsari, I am miserable with lots of problems. When he says, the problems belong to miserable person. Misery belong to miserable, not to aham. If he says, I am miserable, you ask, what is the reason? Why you are miserable? Everyone calls me Gundu, bulky fellow. Aham stulaha manushyaha asmi. here the bulkiness belong to what? Body. Bulkiness belong to body. Humanness also belong to body. He has joined these properties belong to body with aham. So, aham stula manushyosmi. When he says, aham belong to satyamsham. Sthulatvam belong to anrutamsham. Manushyatvam belongs to anrutamsham. When I say aham, whether I am conscious entity or jadam. Suppose when I say aham sthulaha manushyaha asmi, if you ask how you know Swami, I know. So knowledge belong to satyamsham, aham also belong to satyamsham. Understood? Aham is swata siddham. A conscious entity alone can say aham. A conscious entity alone can say aham. So consciousness is satyamsham, aham is satyamsham. I am conscious. I am conscious about my stout body. This can be acceptable because my, you have added what? My, it becomes possession. But when you say, I am stout body, so you have joined which doesn't belong to you with yourself. So for a individual, for a jiva, the combination of satyam and ritam is very natural. Who has taught him? When a child is born, it cries. Who has taught him to cry? If you say, no, the nurse has given a beating. Okay, when somebody beats, you can laugh also, na? Some reaction, when somebody beats, you also can kick by your leg or hand. Why you respond as crying? What is the reason you know? The beating of the nurse gives pain to the body. The pain belong to the body is taken as the pain to oneself. Who taught this child that body's pain belong to you? Who taught? That's what Shankaracharya says, Naisargikoyam lokavyavaharaha. You cannot find out the adi for this error. But you are erroneous all the time. When did I become first erroneous? If you ask, I don't know. But you are erroneous. This much only I can say. You are idiot. In straight language, Acharya wants to say, you are idiot. If you ask, when did I become idiot? That I don't know. But you can get rid of Adhyasa. This much only I can say. Understood? So, how Adhyasa happens, I need not explain. Because it is Sarvaloka Pratyakshaha. Everyone experiences it. Sarvaloka Pratyakshaha. So, I need not explain it. How it happens with regard to Atma and Anatma. With regard to snake and rope, how it happens, please tell. After Vichara, after putting torchlight, you make the person to understand that it is an innocent rope. Then he scratches his head and accepts his mistake and asks for pardoning, for threatening everyone. Because he threatened everyone. There is a furious, frightening, poisonous snake. So everybody was afraid of, considering his words are true. When search happens through torchlight, then he understands that it is a rope. Then he asks for pardon. Suppose you ask the person, how could you see an innocent rope as snake? What he will tell? That I don't know. But I got afraid of this perception. And I shared my fear to all of you. This is what Shankaracharya says. Adhyasam puraskritya eva sarve vyavaharaha. All your activities in your life, laukikaha vaidikascha, whether you do vaidika karma or laukika karma, any activity you do, including breathing. Generally, it is non-voluntary activity, na? Including that non-voluntary activity, anything you do, you are proving yourself that you are idiot. Because breathing is required for body. Unless you consider yourself as body, you will not start breathing at all. You can tell, I won't breathe. Enna pannuvingo? Like that you can tell. The very fact you breathe is a proof for this Atma Anatma error. When he ends his argument, then a Purupakshi comes. Purupakshi means a person who is interested in knowing the truth. Generally in books, they are called opponent. He is not opponent. We don't fight with the opponent people. We are here in teaching process. There is no one called opponent. A person who is not convinced about our ideas and who wants to either prove that his ideas is right or he wants to know how our idea is right. This all. So in books they put opponent and it creates an image. Hinduism was fighting with all. What fighting? No fighting at all for us. So Siddhanta Vyavasthasu Dvaitino Nichita Dridam Parasparam Virudhyante Taihi Ayam Na Virudhyate. We say to all Dirgha Ishman Bhava. If anybody is interested in gaining this truth, they are welcomed and explained. That's all. Understood? Gaudapada Acharya says in Mandukya. They are busy with establishing their Dvaitatvam because they want people, crowd. Why they need crowd? Because they have to assert their power. Why they need land? Because they want to rule. Why they want to rule? Because they want to enjoy this bhoga. That's all. And we have nothing to do that. Because already we have handed over everything and shaven our head and blessed everyone. You hang yourself. Understood? So there is no fighting between Advaitin and any other philosopher. Only teaching happens. And that too not to the philosopher of the opposite side, but to the student who is sitting with the Acharya. Because the student is corrupted already by other philosophers. He has taken so many books from the shelf and internet, he has started so many things. So all poisons have gone inside. How to get rid of this poison? As even a person is grown, so many things are entering in our mind as convictions, never verified, including the idea that I am human body. How can I be human body? Greatest poison. Mummy only gave. Because she was having this idea that she is body. So she has given the idea that I am also body. It is swallowed already. So the Acharya's work is what? To remove all these things in the mind of the seeker. Not to teach the world. Because he was not interested in teaching at all. He is happy with himself. Understood? Name partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu. I am the only entity existing. Nothing to do for me. Like that every jnani is happy. Atma Ramaha. When somebody comes and approaches him crying, then only he opens his mouth and tries to remove the ideas which are the cause for the person's suffering. That's all. So, the Purva Pakshi who is interested in getting actual knowledge comes and says, "Oh, my dear Acharya, I can understand the possibility of error with regard to the objects in the creation. Understand? But I cannot accept the possibility of Atma Anatma Adhyasa. In understanding the rope, there is a possibility of error called snake. But I cannot accept Atma Anatma Adhyasa. I am not able to accept. Why? Because of reason. Any Adhyasa should fulfill 4 conditions. Then only error will happen. See how our elders are so deep in their thinking process. Even error to happen, that happening should fulfill 4 conditions. What are they? Pratyaksha Vishayatvam. The rope should be there in front of me. That's called Pratyaksha Vishayatvam. Then second condition is Ajñātatvam. Partial ignorance must be there. Correct? You only told na. Satyamsham, Anritamsham. So there must be Ajñātatvam. There should be the ignorance of the fact that it is a rope. Rope should be there. And ignorance also should be there about the rope. Then Sadrishyatvam, similarity between the erroneous entity and actual entity. Rope can never be taken or perceived as pumpkin. Rope will be taken as snake or bhuchitram or mala. There must be some similarity. Rope is never taken erroneously as pumpkin. So similarity must be there. Then Purva Anubhava Janya Vasana must be there. What do you mean by? There must be a separate. This is rope, one knowledge. This is snake, another knowledge. So for both knowledge, you need what? Perception. Samskara requires Anubhava. Then only this error can happen. Rope must be there. Ignorance of the rope must be there. Similarity of the superimposed item must be there. And both things should have been experienced by perception, and it should be in the memory of the person who perceives error. With regard to Atma, Anatma, Adhyasa, it is not possible. Why? What is here Samanyamsham? Atma. Like rope. Rope should be Pratyaksham, na? Where Atma is Pratyaksham? Atma is Sarva Indriya Agocharam. Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha. You only told. Atma is Sarva Indriya Agocharam. Therefore, it is not Pratyaksham. Atmanaha apratyakshadvad. Atma Anatma Adhyasaha. Not possible. Asambhavaha. Then second reason. Everyone knows I am. How can you say that he doesn't know about himself? Everyone knows I am. So there is no Ajñātatvam. Because it is Swayam Prakasham. Even though it is available for Pratyaksham, it is Swayam Prakasham. Everybody knows I am. Naham asmi iti kashchit na veda. Nobody knows that I don't exist. Are? Everyone knows I am. So there is no Ajñātatvam. Whether God exists or not, you cannot know unless it is taught. But you know your existence. When I was in Chennai Mat, serving in Vivekananda house, a Christian father came with an idea to preach about Jesus Christ and Christianity and try to know my knowledge or try to convert me, that I don't know. So he came and started the dialogue. There is a good news. Then I asked, what is the good news, Father? Jesus has come as the Savior. Like that he started. And he explained how the Savior saves the fallen souls. Like that. Then after 5 minutes, I got bored. Because stereotype it is. So then I told, there is a better news I have, Father, like that. Then he was astonished to hear this. There is a better news? What it is? I told, I am that Savior Christ. Then he blinked his eyes. Huh? I am that Savior Christ, Father. It is up to you whether you agree or not. Then he bowed down to me. I never encountered such a person like you, Swami. Many people told, that is your belief, we have other belief like that. But you have the guts to say, I am the Christ. Then I told, you are also Christ only, Father. You are the Savior. Tattvamasi, I told. Then, is there a possibility, he asked. Then I explained another half an hour about Vedanta. Then he became very friendly. Then I told, why you are spreading your beliefs? Live with knowledge. Don't live with beliefs. Who knows there was a Christ or not? Who knows he was the Savior? It's all told by somebody else. But what I say is pratyaksha. Why I told this example, you know? Atmanaha swatasiddhatvam. It is swatasiddham. I exist. Nobody need to teach. Whether Jesus exists or God exists or not, you have to be taught by someone else. Without being taught, you cannot know. Even the name of the God, you cannot know. Understood? But you know your existence. Whether God exists or not, you cannot know unless it is taught. And as even it taught, the way it is taught, you understand as God. That's all. What about you? You exist. It is swatasiddham. Therefore, there is no possibility of ajñātatvam. And third condition is sadrishyam. That is, similarity must be there between the factual and the error. Rope cannot be taken as pumpkin. Rope can be taken as snake or mala or bhuchitram. So, with regard to Atma and Anatma, where is the similarity? You only started your bhashyam, Yushmad Asmat Pratyaya Gocharayoho, Vishaya Vishayinoho, Tama Prakashavat Viruddha Swabhavayoho, Itaretare Bhava Anupapattau Siddhayam Tad Dharmanapi Sutaram, Itaretare Bhava Anupapattihi. You only told Anupapattihi. It is not possible to combine the darkness and light, to combine the first person singular and the third person singular. Tama Prakashavati Viruddha Swabhavam, you only told. There is no sadrishya. Atma is Chetanam. Anatma is, body is Jadam. Atma is Sarvagatam. According to Vedanta Pramanam, Atma is Sarvagatam. And body is Alpagatam. According to Pratyaksham. Atma is Niravayavam. Sarvagatam, therefore Niravayavam. Partless. There is no part. Like sky. Atma is Nirgunam. Anatma is Savayavam. With all lot parts are there. Every body has part. Every body is having 37 trillion parts in the form of cells. 37 trillion. Repeatedly I wonder how they counted this. That is the wonder. Whether that much is there or not, how they count this trillion. You know the trillion meaning? You have to find out. So, it is Savayavam, Sagunam, stout, bulky, black, male, female, all gunam only. Atma is first person singular, the subject. Body is third person singular, the object. How you combine them? So, sadrishyam nasti, tama prakashavati viruddha swabhavatvat. Then fourth one is samskaraha. For samskaraha, there must be a purva pratyaksha anubhava. Purva pratyaksha anubhava must be there. In the case of snake, you have pratyaksham. In the case of rope also, you have pratyaksham. But in the case of Atma and Anatma, where is the real Anatma you experience any time? Because according to you, Anatma is Mithya. According to you, Anatma is Mithya. Where is the real perception of Anatma happened? Entire Srishti is appearance, you told. So where is the Srishti for you to perceive? So therefore, Atma, Anatma, Adhyasaha, never possible. Understood? Pratyaksha Vishayatvam Nasti, Ajnatatvam Nasti, Sadrishyatvam Nasti, Samskaraha Nasti. Atma, Anatma, Adhyasa Vishaye. Then Shankaracharya says, Nachayam Asti Niyamaha. Who gave this niyama? You are enlisting 4 niyamas must be there to fulfill for an error. See, when the Purvapaksha told what we thought so far, correct only he is telling, na? Like that we thought. We accepted. When he told his Purvapaksham, our mind thought correct. If a mind is thinking mind, it will not accept anything as correct. It will see whether there is a logic or factual thing is there. So Shankaracharya says, Nachayam asti niyamaha. There is no need for all these conditions to be fulfilled for error. Pratyaksha Vishayatvam is not a necessity for an error. There is no need for a rope to lie down there to perceive snake, because without pratyaksham of the real entity also you can have errors. Puro avastite eva vishaye vishayantaram adhyasitavyam iti nacha ayam niyamaha asti apratyakše api hi akashe balaha talamalinadadi adhyasyanti. Akasha is perceived as blue sky. Where is the perception of Akasha? How you perceive Akasha? Akasha is not available for perception at all. It is not Pratyaksha Vishayam. You can infer, that's all. You can infer the space. It is not perceived by Pratyaksha Pramanam. So, Apratyakshe api Balaha Tala malinatati, blueness and curvedness of the Akasha. Though end of the pair. When you stand in front of the ocean and see the Akasha is curved and ends at the end of the ocean, you think that ocean also ends there. Akasha also ends there. When you go inside, then only you will understand it is neither blue nor curved and there is no end also. This perception happens or not? So therefore there is no need for pratyaksha vishayatvam for error to happen. And Atma is always pratyaksham only. It is ever experience, subject. So therefore, I change your demand from pratyaksha vishayatvam to prakashamanatvam. If you know that it is there, that is enough. It need not be there in front of you as an object. Atma is not available in the form of object, but it is in the form of very subject. So pratyaksham is not a necessity. Prakashamanatvam is the need. Then he told ajñātatvam. With regard to Atma, there is no ajñātatvam, you told. Ahamasmi, everybody knows, you told. Ahamasmi, everybody knows. But Aham Brahmasmi, nobody knows. Aham Akhandosmi, Aham Purnosmi, Aham Anandosmi, nobody knows. That is why they say Aham Khandosmi, Aham Samsari. I am miserable is possible only when he doesn't know that I am happy. Understand? So ajñātatvam is there plenty. Then third is sadrishyatvam. Sadrishyam is not a necessity for an error to happen. You told rope cannot be erroneously perceived as pumpkin. That is okay with regard to rope. With regard to space, where is the sadrishyatvam between the curveness and the space, between the blueness and the space? There is no sadrishyatvam. Then you told samskaraha. For samskaraha, you need a perception, original perception of the erroneous item, snake. And anatma is not available originally, so it is never perceived originally. Therefore, samskara is not possible, you told. You don't need a real snake to perceive. You can see the cinema snake also and have samskara. See, there are so many children, they saw snake only in cinema. Cinema snake is not real snake. Samskara is a need. But for samskara, you told real pratyaksham, you told, that is not the need. Like that, Acharya will try to make us to understand. Time is over. Tomorrow we will see. Hereafter, classes will be little serious without any stories or anything. So, you need to hear again and again, then only whatever is told can be grasped. We will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sad Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
तेजोमयं सगुण विश्वनाथम् रागादिदोषरहितं स्वजनानुरागं वैराग्यशान्तिनिलयं गिरिजासहायं माधुर्यधैर्यसुभगं गगनाभिरामं वाराणसीपुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथं भज विश्वनाथम्